So I had a representative who was knocking in a neighborhood, and then he realized it was part of the big like condo association because one of the homeowners was like, "Here's the actual like condo phone number. So
Yeah,
if you want to get a hold of them." So I told him like not to have any sort of expectations for it, but if he wanted to give them a call, like doesn't hurt.
absolutely.
So what should like how should he go about calling them? And like what would he say?
So I
Because
would
obviously
probably,
if he ended up meeting with them, like it wouldn't be just him. I'd either go out there or I'd have Wes go out there with him too.
right, right.
But I'm just trying to think of how he should actually approach that phone call.
Yeah. So what you want to do is, I would probably say, and again, this is kind of off the cuff, so we might come up with something a little bit better when we brainstorm a little bit more, but I would probably call and just say, if he has a name like Tom, right? It's like, hey, is this Tom with so-and-so condominiums? It's like, yeah. Like, hey, I'm really sorry to bug you. This is Becca with EcoStar Restoration, and this is going to be a little bit random. I don't mean to catch you off guard, but I've actually been doing storm inspections, like hail damage inspections do you remember those big storms that we had last year? There were two that came through. Started a little bit of conversation. Oh yeah, they were crazy. Yeah. Well, I was out, responding to calls. Obviously, winter is finally coming to an end, and there was so much damage last year. There was just no way that we could get to it all before winter. And I'd been doing inspections in the nearby residents, like the subdivisions and the houses and the homeowners nearby your area. And I kind of stumbled into your neighborhood and, met with one of the homeowners there, one of the residents of your condos. And they were explaining to me that, this is a big condo, but I'm sure there's probably damage out here. If there's damage nearby to all these other houses, why don't you go ahead and give Tom a call? So I hope it's okay, but they gave me your number. What I do is I actually do free inspections, and we basically just come out and hop up on the roof. And if you don't have any damage, like I'll let you know you're good to go. There's really nothing to do. But considering how many of the houses within this just a mile or two radius of that area had so much damage, I'd be really surprised if you didn't. Have you guys had anybody come out and check that out for you yet?
Okay.
Let him answer, well, no, actually. Well, I tell you what, it's really no big deal for me to go out and check it out. Would you want me to go ahead and come out here this week, either Wednesday or Thursday, throw a ladder up, go up there, and if I don't find anything, I'll let you guys know. There's nothing to worry about. If I do find stuff, though, I'll take pictures of it, come down, show you what's going on, and insurance is coming out and meeting with me, and they're paying for these roofs to be replaced. So, because remember, when you're like a property manager or something like that, they budget for stuff like this anyways. And so if they have an opportunity to increase the value of their properties, which without barely having to pay anything, like whatever the deductible is, that's like a great opportunity. They don't get emotionally involved in it. It's not like their house. It's like, these are buildings that I manage or that I own. I want to make sure they're taken care of. So I think that would be a great strategy. It's very similar to a door knocking approach, but just kind of explain how I ended up out there. Haha, it's kind of a funny story. But I'd be surprised if there wasn't damage out there. It's better safe than sorry, just based on a couple of houses nearby. And so that would be a great segue, and I would be surprised if they wouldn't be interested in just having you come out and check it out.
Okay. That sounds good. I like that approach. And that's something I can just type up for the guy real quick to be able to go off of. So
right. Yep.
That'll be good.
As long as he sounds confident and laid back, I mean, it's not a big deal. So, but that'd be a great way to get in on some of that stuff, And people that owned like large buildings and complexes like that tend to either own more buildings and complexes like that or know people who do. So you could potentially
well, you know what? They
tap
do,
in.
because this area, it's like in an area that was hit, but the actual office is in Ann Arbor, which is like an hour west of us. So the kid, he was like, I have no problem going to Ann Arbor and talking to these people, like if there's damage, obviously. So, so yeah, I'm sure they have other places too, other than just where he was knocking.
Oh, I guarantee it. Yep. So that's That's the approach I would use, and then just see. But yeah, you're right. I mean, tell them, like, you don't know how sometimes these guys are super cool and sometimes it's hard to get to the actual decision maker, but that's the whole thing, is just teach these guys to identify opportunities and continue to put lines in the water, and you never know what happens. The more lines you put in the water, the more fish that are going to bite. So, excuse me.